It was breaking news that a U.S. female F-35 pilot successfully destroyed a rebel ship in the Red Sea. It was a horrifying moment that demonstrated the pilot's skill and courage in a tense situation. She was praised for breaking barriers and attaining the same level of expertise as her male counterparts. What actually happened there? And what exactly is this F-35 aircraft? Stick on as we are going to unravel everything that you need to know about this fighter 35 aircraft. So before we dive into the video, hit subscribe for a front row so that you won't miss out on our interesting contents and be a part of our community. A female U.S. F-35 pilot attacked a rebel ship as part of the U.S. response to the Houthi rebels, who had launched several attacks on international shipping in the Red Sea, endangering a vital transit route. The U.S. Navy said it had destroyed anti-ship missiles and boats operated by the rebels after they tried to board a container ship. The shipping company Maersk suspended the passage of its vessels through the area for 48 hours after the incident. The name of the female pilot is still not revealed. The F-35 Lightning II, the most lethal, survivable, and connected fighter aircraft in the world, strengthens national security, enhances global partnerships, and powers economic growth. Originally, Lockheed Martin F-35 Lightning II is an American family of single-seat, single-engine, all-weather stealth multi-role combat aircraft that is intended to perform both air superiority and strike missions. It is also able to provide electronic warfare and intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance capabilities. Lockheed Martin is the prime F-35 contractor with principal partners Northrop Grumman and BAE Systems. The aircraft has three main variants: the conventional takeoff and landing CTOL F-35A, the short takeoff and vertical landing STOVL F-35B, and the carrier-based CV bar Catabar F-35C. The aircraft descends from the Lockheed Martin X-35, which in 2001 beat the Boeing X-32 to win the Joint Strike Fighter JSF program. Its development is principally funded by the United States, with additional funding from program partner countries from the North Atlantic Treaty Organization NATO and close U.S. allies, including the United Kingdom, Australia, Canada, Italy, Norway, Denmark, the Netherlands, and formerly Turkey. Several other countries have also ordered or are considering ordering the aircraft. The program has drawn criticism for its unprecedented size, complexity, ballooning costs, and delayed deliveries. The acquisition strategy of concurrent production of the aircraft, while it was still in development and testing, led to expensive design changes and retrofits. The F-35 was the product of the Joint Strike Fighter program, which was the merger of various combat aircraft programs from the 1980s and 1990s. One progenitor program was the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, DARPA, Advanced Short Takeoff Vertical Landing ASTOVL, which ran from 1983 to 1994. ASTOVL aimed to develop a Harrier jump jet replacement for the U.S. Marine Corps USMC and the UK Royal Navy. Under one of ASTOVL's classified programs, the Supersonic ASTOVL Fighter SSF, Lockheed Skunk Works conducted research for a stealthy supersonic STOVL fighter intended for both the U.S. Air Force and USMC. A key technology explored was the shaft-driven lift fan SDLF system. Lockheed's concept was a single-engine Canard Delta aircraft weighing about $24,000 lb, around 11,000 kilos empty. ASTOVL was rechristened as the Common Affordable Lightweight Fighter CALF in 1993 and involved Lockheed, McDonnell, Douglas, and Boeing. The F-35 is a family of single-engine, supersonic, stealth, multi-role fighters. The second fifth-generation fighter to enter U.S. service and the first operational supersonic STOVL stealth fighter. The F-35 emphasizes low observables, advanced avionics, and sensor fusion that enable a high level of situational awareness and long-range lethality. The USAF considers the aircraft its primary strike fighter for conducting suppression of enemy air defense SEAD missions, owing to the advanced sensors and mission systems. The F-35 has a wingtail configuration with two vertical stabilizers canted for stealth. Flight control surfaces include leading-edge flaps, flaperons, rudders, and all moving horizontal tail stabilators. Leading-edge root extensions or chains also run forwards to the inlets. The relatively short 35-foot wingspan of the F-35A and F-35B is set by the requirement to fit inside USN amphibious assault ship parking areas and elevators. The F-35C's larger wing is more fuel efficient. The fixed diverterless supersonic inlets DSI use a bumped compression surface and forward-swept cowl to shed the boundary layer of the forebody away from the inlets, which form a wide duct for the engine. Structurally, the F-35 drew upon lessons from the F-22. Composites comprise 35% of airframe weight, with the majority being bismuth and composite epoxy materials, as well as some carbon nanotube reinforced epoxy in later production lots. The F-35 is considerably heavier than the lightweight fighters it replaces, with the lightest variant having an empty weight of 29,300 pound, around 13,300 kilogram. Much of the weight can be attributed to the internal weapons bays and the extensive avionics carried. While lacking the top speed of the larger twin-engine F-22, the F-35 is competitive with fourth-generation fighters such as the F-16 and F-A-18, especially when they carry weapons, because the F-35's internal weapons bay eliminates drag from external stores. All variants have a top speed of Mach 1.6 attainable with full internal payload. The powerful F-135 engine gives good subsonic acceleration and energy, with a supersonic dash in the afterburner. The large stabilators, leading edge extensions and flaps, and canted rudders provide excellent high alpha, that is angle of attack characteristics, with a trimmed alpha of 50 degrees. Relaxed stability and triplex redundant fly-by-wire controls provide excellent handling qualities and departure resistance. Having over double the F-16's internal fuel, the F-35 has a considerably greater combat radius, while stealth also enables a more efficient mission flight profile. The United States is the primary customer and financial backer, with planned procurement of 1,163 F-35As for the USAF, 353 F-35Bs, and 67 F-35Cs for the USMC, and 273 F-35Cs for the USN. Additionally, the United Kingdom, Italy, the Netherlands, Turkey, Australia, Norway, Denmark, and Canada have agreed to contribute US dollars 4.375 billion towards development costs, with the United Kingdom contributing about 10% of the planned development costs as the sole Tier 1 partner. The initial plan was that the US and 8 major partner countries would acquire over 3,100 F-35s through 2035. The 3 tiers of international participation generally reflect financial stake in the program, the amount of technology transfer and subcontracts open for bid by national companies, and the order in which countries can obtain production aircraft. Alongside program partner countries, Israel and Singapore have joined as Security Cooperative Participants (SCP). Sales to SCP and non-partner states, including Belgium, Japan, and South Korea, are made through the Pentagon's Foreign Military Sales Program. Turkey was removed from the F-35 program in July 2019 over security concerns following its purchase of a Russian S-400 surface-to-air missile system. The female pilot who was able to manage this huge single-seat beast deserves a big salute. So what do you think of the brave move of the US female F-35 pilot? Let us know in the comment section below. And that wraps up today's content. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe and turn on all notifications so that you won't miss out on our future contents.
In the heart of the ever-shifting Middle East, a recent showdown has catapulted the clash between Israel and Hamas onto the global stage. Picture this: a cinematic new chapter unfolds as military titans, the F-15s, A-10s, and F-16s, swoop down like avenging angels in a precision assault on the notorious Hamas tunnels. This isn't just any operation, it's the high-stakes saga of Underground Thunder, a codename that crackles with intensity. Imagine the rumble of jet engines, the thunderous roar of afterburners, as these aerial enforcers mark a bold escalation in the age-old feud between the two adversaries. It's like the climax of a suspenseful thriller, where the skies become the battleground, and each aircraft is a protagonist in this high-flying drama. Underground Thunder isn't just a name, it's a symbol of the lightning-quick maneuvers and calculated strikes that redefine the rules of engagement in a long-standing saga of tensions. The world watches as these warbirds dance across the turbulent skies, signaling a seismic shift in the enduring conflict's narrative. Underground Thunder isn't just a mission, it's a headline-grabbing spectacle that underscores the gravity of the situation, setting the stage for what could be a pivotal turning point in the ongoing struggle for supremacy in the Middle East. The roots of the conflict. The conflict between Israel and Hamas has deep roots in history and politics. It revolves around disagreements over land, resources, and political beliefs. This long-standing tension has led to repeated outbreaks of violence, affecting civilians on both sides. Hamas, considered a terrorist organization by some countries, has become a significant player in Palestinian politics, making the situation even more complicated. One key issue is Hamas's refusal to accept Israel's right to exist, and their use of violence as a form of resistance has added to the continuous cycle of conflict. These factors contribute to the challenges in finding a peaceful resolution and highlight the complexities of the Israel-Hamas conflict. Operation Underground Thunder. In response to the ongoing tension, Operation Underground Thunder kicked in, involving a group of airplanes like the F-15 Eagles, A-10 Thunderbolt IIs, also known as Warthogs, and F-16 Fighting Falcons. These aircraft work together to carry out targeted airstrikes on Hamas tunnels. These tunnels have been a constant worry for Israel because they are often used for smuggling weapons and launching attacks in Israeli areas. Each type of plane has its own special abilities. The decision to use this mix of aircraft shows a well-thought-out plan to deal with the threat posed by the underground tunnels built by Hamas. It's like a strategic move to ensure the safety of Israel by taking out these hidden dangers. F-15, the Eagle Eye in the Sky. The F-15 Eagle, like a superhero in the sky, played a really important part in Operation Underground Thunder. It's a super versatile fighter jet, known for being powerful and fast. This plane is like a champion that can handle both air-to-air fights and air-to-ground missions. In the Underground Thunder mission, the F-15s were like precision wizards, using smart bombs to hit specific entrances of the Hamas tunnels. These smart bombs are like really accurate arrows, making sure they hit the right spots and avoid causing damage to nearby areas. So the F-15s were like the guardians in the sky, zooming in with their exceptional speed and range to take out the bad stuff below while keeping everything as safe as possible. A-10 Thunderbolt II, Warthog's Roar. Meet the A-10 Thunderbolt II, also known as the Warthog, a unique hero in the sky. This aircraft is like a special forces team designed for close air support, meaning it's really good at helping out the troops on the ground. What makes it stand out is its powerful 30mm Gatling gun, a bit like a massive fast-shooting cannon. This big gun makes the Warthog a real ground target terminator. Now in the Underground Thunder mission, the Warthogs took center stage. They acted like close air support bodyguards for the troops on the ground, ensuring that the Hamas tunnels were dealt with effectively. Picture them as the defenders in the air, swooping down with their mighty Gatling guns to make sure the bad stuff below was neutralized. The Warthogs are like the tough guys in the sky, making sure everything on the ground is as safe as possible. F-16 Fighting Falcon, agile and adaptable. Say hello to the F-16 Fighting Falcon, a real superstar in the sky. It's like the jack-of-all-trades among fighter planes, super nimble and can handle lots of different missions. In the Underground Thunder operation, these F-16s brought something special to the table. They're equipped to carry all sorts of powerful weapons, including smart bombs that hit targets with pinpoint accuracy. Think of the F-16s as the precision artists in the mission, aiming their bombs at specific Hamas structures with surgical precision. Their unique talent lies in being able to adapt really quickly to changes in the battle, so when things get tricky, the F-16s are like the problem solvers, zooming in and taking out key Hamas spots with their high-tech weaponry. In this dynamic conflict environment, the F-16s are the fast and flexible warriors ensuring that the mission stays on track. Precision strikes and collateral damage concerns. Even though the F-15, A-10, and F-16s were careful with their precise strikes during operations, worries about unintended damage still exist. The places where Hamas tunnels are usually found are often in crowded cities, making it tough for the military to avoid affecting nearby areas. This is a big challenge. The whole world is watching closely, and everyone is urging the involved parties to make sure they put protecting regular people first. It's like telling them, hey, let's make sure we keep the folks who aren't part of the fight safe. The international community wants everyone to remember that civilian lives are super important, even in the middle of all this conflict. It's a reminder to be extra careful and try to keep the impact on everyday people as low as possible. International reactions and diplomatic efforts. When Operation Underground Thunder made headlines worldwide, many countries and international groups jumped into action. They all had something to say about the growing conflict. Instead of supporting more fighting, they were shouting out for everyone to calm down. It was like a global chorus calling for restraint, asking everyone involved to solve things through talking and negotiating. Big organizations like the United Nations and the European Union, along with other important players, shared their worries. They were mainly concerned about how regular people might get hurt because of the military actions. It's as if they're waving a big flag saying, "Let's not let this get worse. Let's find a way to settle things down." So the world is watching, hoping that the leaders will listen and work towards lowering the tension and avoiding more conflict. The human cost. In the middle of all the political and military moves, it's super important to remember the people caught in the middle, the regular folks who aren't part of the fight. Civilians on both sides are the ones feeling the hardest hits from all the violence. They're dealing with really tough stuff like having to leave their homes, losing loved ones, and going through really stressful and sad experiences. Now the whole world is starting to pay more attention to this human side of the conflict. People everywhere are realizing that it's not just about politics, it's about families and communities being affected. Everyone is saying, let's focus on helping these folks out and find a way to stop the fighting peacefully. The international community wants to make sure the people caught in the middle are okay, and that they can start rebuilding their lives without the constant threat of conflict hanging over them. As the echoes of underground thunder reverberate through the tumultuous Middle East, the world is left to grapple with the consequences of this aerial drama. The clash between Israel and Hamas, intensified by the precision assault of F-15s, A-10s, and S-16s, is etched into the geopolitical landscape. The codename itself, Underground Thunder, resounds with the gravity of the moment, a symbolic storm that has reshaped the contours of an enduring conflict. In this turbulent saga, the international community must now shift its gaze from the thunderous skies to the human toll on the ground. The civilian cost of displacement, loss, and trauma cannot be ignored. As the diplomatic echoes reverberate, the call for a peaceful resolution grows louder. The world yearns for a denouement that prioritizes the well-being of those caught in the crossfire, an ending that transcends the thunderous clash of arms and paves the way for a future where dialogue and understanding prevail over the roar of warplanes.